A mirror shows us a reflection of who we are. It depends on what you choose to believe, of course. A mirror is an object used in showing or expressing how beautiful we look. A mirror is an object that is essential in every home, especially in the bedroom. Not forgetting also our glass table. Hello, welcome to another interesting episode on Showcase. My name is Rahina Shehu Abdullahi, and on today's episode, I'll be showing you how our mirror and glass tables are being made, and also we'll be talking about it as a business in case you want to start up a business. I have a glazier with me here that will be showing us or putting us through this process. Sit back and enjoy.
I'm by name Dauda Shokono Maza Moses. I'm number 3 out of 4 kids from Mr. and Mrs. Dauda Danjuma from a small community in FCT here, Amak Municipal Area Council, called Jabi Main Village. And I studied my primary school, LEA Primary School Jabi, Abuja here, and my secondary school was in Government Secondary School, Wuse Zone 3, Abuja here. And I also had the opportunity to further to Dobem Polytechnic, Buari, Garam Road. So I'm an ND holder. Not married, still single. And I am on the streets with a skill to showcase. Education has been a key to managing and organizing my skill. Even though the skill was what I used to see myself through my polytechnic education, I had learned the skill before getting admission into polytechnic. So it helped me through it, but then the education part has improved my ideas and way of thinking. You know, the world is a global village already. Technology is taking over rapidly, and then we cannot be stuck to what we already know. We have to move with the world. As it's revolving, we have to follow it up. Yes, they say we are behind the whites, but actually we can chase the whites if only we put our hands together, put our skills together, not being ashamed of what we can do. Because when you're ashamed of what you can do with your hands, it only means you're ashamed of what is bringing in income to pay bills. And paying of bills cannot be evicted from life circle. So I don't see any reason why I should be ashamed of a skill I have acquired in order to pay my bills. I started this business as a business. I came to learn a business, not actually a skill, on how to sell a glass, because selling of glass is a business. And now the skill I have acquired, it's now a hand work, a hand skill to bring a good and fine finished product out of the business of glass. Now, we can do glass, mirrors, staircase, balconies. And this cannot work if you're not creative. We decided to bring creativity into the glass. Now, I was a friend to the person who introduced me to the glass business. And then it's a story I love to tell because I owe wherever I am now to this same person. Wherever I go to, I say it proudly. He's my friend. He's still my friend. And I met him. He does almost all the expenses, guys outing and all of those stuff. And I had to say, no, guy, stop giving me fish. Teach me how to fish. And as God will have it, he opened his arms to me, to my request, and brought me into the company. There and then I started, even though I used to play football actively, very actively. So I had to let one go for the other. And I decided to let go of football for the skill I am learning. So he introduced the business to me. He taught me all I needed to know. The glass working, the glass cutting, and then urged me to be concentrative and attentive, that the sky will be my stepping stone if only I can be straightforward and direct. And here I am today. All my life, before this scale, it has been football. From the national under 10 level, being called up to the national under 17 level at a point, played with Victor Osimhen, popularly known, the Napoli striker, and Chukwueze Samuel. Now, also made it to the under 20 level as a call-up, but we didn't make it to the World Cup then. So that was when I now said, oh, maybe this is not where God wants me to eat from. So it's just better I advise myself, get on to something. Then I had to now think of the option 2. As at then, it wasn't paying, because definitely in this part of the world, what we see more in the line of football is people who come to tell you what is not, as if it is. We hardly find people who are willing to sacrifice and give opportunities to upcoming talents. It's not like the talents are not there. They are on the streets and they are failing by day. And this is a career that works with age. Football works with age. You can't play football, you can't give your best to football when you're 30 already, before you're going to play in the national under 17. Just imagine, you're taking off 13 years from your normal age. Now, when you're playing with someone who is exactly 17, definitely the difference will be there. You can't compare the strengths. You can't compare the speed. You can't compare the activeness. There's different. So we find in how we make it to that stage where is our dream at a very late time. And I'm calling on the government, if they can actually work on that, if they can do anything on that sector, it will really, really improve. Because we are actually doing good. You see somebody who is already 40, still giving good outcome in the field of play. Now, what if you give an opportunity to someone who is actually 20? Then the best of that person will come out. It took me about 2 years, even though in my first 3 months, I had already started cutting, which made him so proud of me. 3 months, I was already cutting the glass from the sheets, not just cutting on the table, small pieces, no, from the sheets. And there's a danger when you're cutting from the sheets, as it's standing now. You don't cut well, it damages. And when it damages, you don't join glass. You have to remove it and start afresh. So he was proud of me when he could actually trust me after just 3 months to go to the sheets and cut. So about capital to start up this business. This is a big business, and there's a lot of risks in it too. Now, you cannot say you want to start this business with 5 million. You cannot say you want to start with 2 million. You cannot even say you want to start with 20 million. But what you can start with is to start. In as much as you have your space, you have a boss who can trust you. Because I learned the business and now I'm doing skill. Because I checked myself and I realized what the income I need to start the business is way above what I can actually gather or what I can actually afford at the moment. So I turned into skills, creating and selling, thereby making little income. Now, if God permits it, definitely whoever has savings will grow. Now, if I can have an investor along the line, wow, welcome. Why not? If not, it's a good thing to grow. Because in these few years, I have realized that in this part, it has been a surprise, especially when I took my work to the social media. I realized that not everybody know that they can actually achieve their dream work out of glass in this country. In less than a month, I posted a video on TikTok that made 4.2 million views in a month. I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but that awareness have helped a lot of people. They have come and their glass problems have been solved and they are still coming. So that's the dream. But then I realized that there are mechanisms that are still lacking in this our sector. And if only the people with the resources can come out, invest, bring those plans. It's not like they are not available. If China can do a glass, it means the machines are there. The mechanisms are there. People just controlling them and they giving you fine finishing and perfect result. So why can't we have those machines here? That's my question. So we need people to come in, open up, and realize that glass business has gone away from what they used to know. It has gone global, and we have to try and step up as fast as we can so we can meet up standard. It's so heartbreaking that someone wants a mirror of about, let's say, 2 feet by 6 feet, and the person is having to call a Chinese company and make payments through dollars and then pay for flights to bring it down to Nigeria and all of those clearance, whatever. If we have those machines there, tax can come in, a lot of tax, revenue and all of those things. Put the tax rates. It's a company. The tax will keep coming. The country is growing. The country's economy is growing. Individuals are growing. There will be less unemployment, I assure you. Yes, it's a risky job. We get cuts. I had my own cuts, a lot of them, but it never stopped me from going. So if you don't have strength, have the heart. That's what I tell my boys. If you don't have strength, have the heart. Because from the heart, you have strength unstoppable. You understand? So these are the challenges we are having. Improvements, even though we are trying to get there. There are jobs I'm supposed to have done, but I tell them we can't. Why? Because I didn't come out so I can be embarrassed. No, I came out so I can find help. As I'm improving, there should be assistance and not making troubles here and there with clients. So if it's not possible, I tell you it's not possible here. That's the fact. But if it's possible, I give you my 100% assurance it's possible. And when I produce, you see that actually it is possible. So these are the challenges. But if you can have mechanisms, who is me touching this glass with my palm? I can't. Because I have a machine that can lift this glass from whichever position it is and hand it over to another machine that have been programmed to cut whatever shape I want. And that same machine transports it to another machine that can give the edges, the finishing I want. And that same machine brings it back to where it can be properly covered and wrapped to avoid scratches, because scratches from this line, scratches irritates clients a lot on the glass. And glass is no more beautiful if it has scratches. The finishing is very important. I personally, I don't believe in fixed time for learning. I've realized that my brain is not compared to another. Maybe I started cutting in 3 months, but there's someone who cannot even come near the glass in 3 years. Do you understand? Because of fear. So, first things first, there's no duration of learning. There's no duration of learning. And there's no distant time as to you have to be this perfect before I can trust you with something. No. My boys who are just 3 months old have started installations without me. You understand? One of them has started cutting on the table without me. So when I'm working, it's just good that you are attentive. The principles are there. The guidelines are there. I will not hide anything from anybody. If things were hidden from me, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today. So I don't see any reason for me to hide anything from anybody, because I believe in this saying that says the best investment is to invest in humans. So knowledge passed on cannot die. But when you keep your knowledge to yourself alone, you die with it. And there's no continuity. And the world goes on in that same darkness. You have died with your light. Now, the world have to pray for another light person to come up. So I don't believe in that. So there's no duration. When you talk about amount, it depends. There is no fixed amount. If you're coming and I've already seen, I don't actually just fix amount and collect. No. I can ask you to come. From the way you carry yourself in the first 2-3 days, I already know your abilities. I am gifted with that. 2-3 days, I already see your energy. And I love energy. I know how to study energy so fast. So 2-3 days, 1 week, I already know this one, it will take time. So I'll now know what to tell you, the cost of your own training. Do you understand? If I see this one, don't forget, I'm not just grooming them to let them go. I'm grooming them for an empire. If I have a vast job, do you understand? A vast contract, it will pay me well that boys that I have trained, I subcontract them and pay them to facilitate delivery. It will even lessen the burden on me. I don't have to do everything. Do you understand? So I even want my joy, my dream is to see how fast they can meet up so that they will lessen the burden on me. Okay, just like yesterday, I stepped out with my secretary, that's my personal assistant, to go take measurements, and the client asked this same question. He was wondering, why is my secretary, 2 people doing one job? 2 people came to take measurements and give cost. I was not like, yes, she just resumed, and we're just trying to, I'm trying to put her through on how we do it and how it goes. So once she meets up, fine. Send her with a boy. They go, they take the measurement. She knows what to do, and I'm here producing. It lessens the burden. The stress comes down, because 2 months ago, when I came out to social media, I almost lost my head. The request, the demand, yes, every skilled worker, every businessman wants increasing demands. is happy with increasing demands, but it was so much load on me. So much load on me, and I needed to meet up. I had to meet up. I have to meet up, and all of those things. Calls from all over Nigeria. Are you in Lagos? Because I'm in Lagos, I'll be like, oh, I'm not in Lagos, I'm in Abuja. That will slide. Are you in Port Harcourt? I'm in Port Harcourt. Oh, sorry, I'm in Abuja. That will slide. So if I have boys, even if we are here in Abuja, we can go that far. We can go that far, and we'll serve everybody. They won't just see it. They will also have a feel, a taste of it. So there's no specific, no fixed amount for learning, and there's no fixed period for learning. If you can learn in 1 year, I'll let you go in 1 year. You become your own boss in 1 year. You begin to work not only for me, but for others of your clients. If you look around, most of the glasses are tied, and because of the weather. Now, we can only cut glass with a warm temperature. Glass cannot be cut when it's too cold, and glass cannot be cut when it's too hot. Glass cannot be carried just like that. You have to be attentive of, we call it mark, because even as they are standing here, it's possible somebody has hit somewhere. You don't know. You wouldn't know. Now, if you're coming and you're just lifting from that part, from that mark, it divides, and you never know where it's going to. Could be your hand, could be your leg. Glass is quite damaging to the body. If you look at my arm, you see some stitch and some just let it go. We can't stitch it. There's a lot of risks attached to it. Sometimes, this is a trailer, a complete trailer, load of glass. This is over 20 million. This trailer now, over 20 million. It can tumble. So now, imagine it. And immediately it tumbles. It is glass. Very, very fragile, perishable business. If it tumbles, you're not picking anything. You're just picking pieces. And you cannot join them together. Also, there is no way you can say, okay, you should manage and pack them to one factory somewhere that will go and recycle. There is no recycling with glass, especially in this part of the country. So it's broken, it's broken. It's damaged, it's damaged. So the risks are high. And it all boils down to those same mechanisms I've talked about. We're supposed to have a mechanism that can recycle glass, but we don't. So if it's going down, it is going down. Some people say glass is expensive. Definitely, it will have to be expensive, because we are not just giving you costs for just the glass, for just the secretary we are paying, or the transport, whatever. We are also considering the risks. If I lose this glass now, my client hardly listens to me. It only takes a client that is God-fearing, that has a good heart, to want to say, okay, I bought this glass for 20,000. I'll give you 10,000. Let's do the job and achieve it. It only takes a God-fearing client. And when you don't meet a client like that, you will have to bear the loss. Because if you say you don't want to bear the loss, there is a problem. If you're not bearing the loss, there is a problem. The clients, you will end up dragging with clients, and clients will end up with police. And at the end of the day, what will be the end result? You have to replace it. Because clients are always right. You understand? So there's a lot of risks. In fact, the risks, they are more. The challenges are more than the benefits. That's the truth. Sometimes when getting materials, like I said, a full trailer can tumble in an accident and is a big challenge to the person who has those goods. And sometimes glasses can come, and when they are open, you realize if you were expecting 30 sheets, you have about 10 that are already damaged inside the sheet, inside the 30. Now you only have 20 left. So how you now imagine how are these people still getting their money? Do you understand what I'm saying? You want to ask that question. How are these people still getting their money? Why? Because some come and they are good. So the ones that are very good, you can actually still smile. Not like you are overcharging anybody. Don't get me wrong. No, you are not overcharging because of your loss, no. But the fact that the next one that happened went well, it will make you smile. The risk is high, the challenges are numerous. If you're an entrepreneur anywhere, you have learned a skill. Entrepreneurship is taking the world, it's taking over. You know, yes, you have your education, you have your certificates. You can never compare your income to a skilled worker. It can never be. Even a skilled worker who is just making 2,000 naira per day. If my arithmetic is right, that person will be earning 60,000 monthly. That should be close to level what? In government office. So you realize that an entrepreneur, you have the capacity to indulge other people. You have the capacity to grow other people, to groom other people. So if you have acquired a skill, there is no limitation. Like I said earlier, you can share a shop. You can start by advertising. Those time you spend on TikTok viewing other people making their money, you can actually drop your own content there and have people look for you. In as much as you are sincere in what you do, God has never slept. He has portion for everybody. If we all are to go to the sky now, in fact, I'm sure we'll still have like 20 meters gap. If I'm staying here, before you see me, you have like 20 meters gap. It's not like we'll be congested in this sky. So the sky is big enough to accommodate everybody. So your patience, your sincerity, your perseverance is just what is required as an entrepreneur. And don't forget, be straightforward, be dedicated. If it means you getting sleepless nights to achieve and deliver, please do it. I'm not saying you should not have time for yourself, but when it is urgent, treat it as a matter of urgency, and you will never have complications.
With this, we have come to the conclusion on today's episode. I hope that you were able to learn one or two things concerning a mirror and glass business. Join us next time on another interesting episode on Showcase. My name is Rahina Shewa Abdullahi. Bye for now.